All right, so here's the situation is we absolutely need some hyper growth in these next couple of months.
Oh man, the clock is ticking.
My name is Chris Allen Lee, and I'm here to show you what it's really like to run your own startup, work remotely, and try to balance life all at the same time. All right, so here's the rub. Yesterday, I got a call from one of my clients saying that they're completely shutting down their company. So they're not going to need my services anymore. And they were on a monthly retainer. So that's a big portion of income that I'm about to lose. So to make things even more complicated, the contractors who are building our house right now are moving way faster than we originally thought. So we originally thought it was going to be built in 6 months, but they're already framing the house. So I'm not sure how soon it's going to be, but it looks like it's going to be way sooner than the 6 months that we thought. So here's the situation is I've got to get into hyper growth mode on Smart Hash so that I can make up for this income that I'm about to lose. All right, so here's the situation is growth is what we are looking for. Now, besides to use advertising, or at least that's my top option right now, is to run some ads for people to download Smart Hash. I've actually done ads before, and they usually cost around something like 50 cents per download, which I actually think is really good. But if you break it down and you look at my upgrade rate, about 4 to 6% of the people who download Smart Hash actually pay for the premium version. They actually upgrade. So we'll just cut it to like 5%. So what that means is that I need 20 downloads for every one person to upgrade, which if I use this 50 cents per download, I need to spend $10 to get one person to upgrade. Now, that sounds actually pretty good because if you look at the monthly service, that's about, right now I have it as $4.99 to upgrade. So if you're thinking about the lifetime value of a user, to spend $10 for them to pay $4.99 per month is pretty good. But there's a couple of issues with that. The problem with that is that this is not the money that I actually make off of this, especially if they upgrade through the App Store, which most of them do. So Apple takes 30% cut of this. So you might as well break it down to basically $3 is what I make. Basically means that instead of having to spend $10 to get half of that back per month, I have to spend $10 and get a third of that. So I won't make up this cost until 3 months later. Between that time, a lot of things can happen. They can decide that it's not for them and they cancel their subscription. Just to complicate things a little bit more, I still have to save up for closing costs for the house. So being able to spend more money now to get more money later, normally under normal circumstances that would be great. It's a good situation to be in. Right now it just doesn't work for me because of what I need to be saving for the house. So this just right here just doesn't cut it. An option is to raise this $4.99 price, but I don't think that's a good idea because I don't think the market can bear it. I've actually adjusted this price a few times of it being higher, a little bit lower, and $4.99, at least right now and where the app is seems to be the right price. So raising that price doesn't seem like a very good idea, at least for right now. And so I gotta figure out how to reduce that price of $10 per upgrade somehow. So something that I think is super important is the first few minutes, even maybe possibly seconds, of a user's journey through your product. As much as possible, you need to make sure that you control and navigate the user's experience. You want that user's journey in the very beginning to be very smooth, very easy, maybe even reduce some of the fields that you have on your sign-up form, just making it as easy and as quick as possible. And it's crucial because you want to show the user value as fast as possible. The faster that you can show them how your product or service can help their business or help them with whatever issue that they're trying to help solve, the faster they're going to be able to rationalize the idea of giving you money for your products or services. And you have to do that from the very, very beginning, because they're already in the mindset and open to possibilities because they signed up for your website, they're looking for something. And then after you show the value, the one last important thing that you need to do is ask for the upgrade, ask for the purchase, because if you don't ask, they won't do it. So the faster that you can show them that this is exactly what they needed, this is why you came here, they're going to transition quickly from viewing your product or service, seeing the value, and then pulling out their credit card and giving you that money. I think I might have something here. There's no way getting around that. So instead of trying to reduce this price, which I've tried to do before, what I think I'm going to do is actually make up for this money further down the funnel with some upsells. Now, I could add more in-app purchases. That's an idea. I don't particularly like that idea because for me personally, I like the idea of paying one price is very transparent and you get everything, you know, within the app. I think the idea of upsells can work, and I just need to figure out what the right type of product could be. What I've realized, I think, in the last couple of weeks is that SmartHash isn't necessarily for the ultimate beginner with Instagram. There's some knowledge that is required to get the best use out of SmartHash. And so what I think is creating a mini sort of Instagram basics for business course. So this is going to go over, you know, some of the basic topics of creating your theme on Instagram and making sure to have your captions right so that more people click on the link in your bio. Talking about hashtag basics, talking about what's the best ways to engage with your community and to get more followers. What's the best way to craft your posts? I think there's a lot of room in there in where people can get the best use out of SmartHash because they understand and have this basic foundation of knowledge of Instagram. So I think doing an Instagram course for business, I think, is going to be a perfect upsell. And what's brilliant about that is I'll have some percentage of the people who download SmartHash that will buy this upsell. It's up to me to figure out what the right price for this course will be to get enough money to make up for this $10 per upgrade. So the idea is to have this upsell pay for the advertising costs so that every upgrade is now free and it's just extra money outside of the advertising. So that's the idea. Now it's time for the hard part of creating and crafting this course, narrowing down the modules, what I want to talk about so people can get the best use out of SmartHash and the best use and the basics and foundations of Instagram to help them with their business. Oh man, that's a tough question because you always want, when you're traveling for work, you always want to like have fun and you know, just enjoy the city. But there's one thing that I found that really worked for me when me and my wife, when we visited Europe. We were there for 3 whole weeks. We went to London and Rome and Paris. I had a few clients that were really depending on me throughout that time to make sure that I got some website updates done and little features. So this is what I did is I would wake up a little bit earlier than normal. So maybe like 6:30, get a good solid 4 to 5 hours in. So I would work all the way up until 11 a.m. and then you can take a break. You can go out to lunch and then just enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Go ahead and visit some of the things that you wanted to do. Man, we went to the Colosseum. We went to visit the Vatican. We did a lot of cool stuff. You could stay out whatever as long as you want, and then later that night just make sure that you do 1 or 2 hours of house cleaning. So if people were sending you emails during the day, those are the times that you want to reply to those and take care of that so that they're not waiting a whole 24 hours before you respond. And then just make sure that any little things that you can take care of, you do before you go to bed so that you're not waking up the next morning with a whole bunch of crap that you haven't dealt with. So that usually works works for me, is getting that 4, maybe 5 hours in the morning, and then literally the rest of the day, you've got it. So you can do whatever you want, and then just making sure to do a couple house cleaning things before you go to bed. Seriously, the best balance that I could possibly think of work and play. I highly recommend that. So I think I tackled a pretty good outline for the modules for this course. Now I just gotta create the slides, record audio, edit, do any filming that I need to do. I think what's really cool about this course is that it's going to create more educated customers for SmartHash. It should also help retain users because they have a little bit more knowledge about how SmartHash can really help them on Instagram. It should help increase revenue and therefore the money that I can spend more on advertising. This is probably a couple week project, but I really need to get in the zone and lock in and get this shit done. The clock is ticking.